Okay, I got everything apart as far as I'm going to take it. All the gear cluster is disassembled. I put it on the dowel to keep everything in order. I believe they said this one here is fairly critical about which way this synchro hub goes on, so shouldn't be a problem. I did not flip it around or anything. I've been reviewing the quality of these synchros that are installed, and I'm tempted just to leave them. They don't seem to have any wear, at least compared to the factory new ones, the aftermarket new ones. These look factory. You can still see all the grooves on the insides of the synchros. I'll try to show you what I mean. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's little fine grooves in there that are used to grab this hub. So, I mean, everything looks really good shape as far as wear. So, I'll probably just leave the original synchros in there and just not bother with the aftermarkets. I don't see any damage to the needle bearings on those gears. There's no bluing or anything like that going on. So that all looks good. These bushing, these inner race, that's not an inner race, that's a part of the shaft. That looks good. There's no scoring, there's no bluing, there's nothing going on bad there. So I think I'm in really good shape as far as all that kind of stuff concerned. I didn't see any damage on any of the gears. So the next stage will be reassembly. I've got the center adapter plate out. I've been cleaning up the gasket surfaces. I just have to get my parts clean. I'm going to use a tub with some mineral spirits or some acetone or something like that to try to get it as clean as I possibly can. Then reassemble it all with some new, clean it, dunk the bearings in the stuff, clean them, put them on, soak them with the gear oil, put it all back together. The only interesting thing is going to be I'm going to deviate from the factory assembly instructions, which uses a press. I'm going to put the main shaft together whole, including the input shaft and the counter shaft, and insert them into the plate, and then use these threads that are on the main shaft and on the counter shaft. Let's see if you can see it here. Well, I don't think you're going to be able to see it. It's down there. Trust me, they're on. I'm sorry, right there. And the idea is I'll get them started into the adapter plate. I put the bearings in the adapter plate, get the shafts coming out through, and then I'm going to use a series of spacers to draw the shafts into the bearing races by using the spacer that'll rest on the inner race of the bearing. And since you're pulling the shaft through against the inner race of the bearing, that will impart no stress to the outer races or the balls of all the new bearings. So hopefully that'll work out. The only thing I'm going to replace for sure, just because I don't know any better, I'm going to go ahead and replace this pilot bearing, that needle bearing there. I went ahead and bought a Nissan one. The kit came with some made in China, no brand name whatsoever, so I have no idea how good it is. It's on SKF or Timken or anything like that. So I figure I'll go ahead and pop the 30 bucks for the Nissan needle bearing. Hopefully that'll take care of the problem. The bulk of the noise, I think, is coming from this main bearing. It's got a definite flat spot when I spin it, and I know not to spin it dry. I mean, I spin it slowly. You can hear chunk, 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 like almost like a little flat spot on it somewhere. All the bearings are probably medium to okay. I mean, they're not great shape. They're not, they're not totally silent like brand new ones, but they're not bad. I mean, I don't think they could possibly have been causing the original issue, but this one hopefully was. Like I said, that one was pretty dang noisy, so I'm hoping that takes care of it. On the synchro hubs, I don't think I'm going to attempt to take these apart. There's 3 little springs in there, and it pops apart. I guess I could, and then dunk it and clean it, put it together with oil. I don't know. I'll think about that. How hard that is going to be to take one of those apart. I've never done that. I know there's 3 little feet in there that spread out based on some springs, and I guess it could be a little bit dirty inside there. I can't imagine too much dirt getting down in there being an issue here, so I'll probably just leave that be. Just it's one part I won't bother completely disassemble and clean. Although on the rear one I'll have to, because due to my lack of knowledge how these things happen, this one just popped loose before I even knew what happened, and I managed to lose one of the springs. 1, 2. I need the 3rd spring. I have all 3 legs, but somehow I managed to lose that 3rd spring. So I went ahead and ordered a new spring. The new spring, I got new ones of these because this one got kind of jacked. So I'm going to use all new Torx nuts for the adapter plate. I've got a new main shaft and counter shaft nut. I'll use the old nut as the tool to draw the shaft in, and then once I get everything in position, I'll use the new nut to actually, you know, secure everything and be staked properly. Seals, I've got brand new seals on it, so I'm not going to put new seals in it. I put the new front and rear seal has 0 miles on it. I went through a lot of effort to rebuild all the parts around the shifting mechanism where there would be oil leaks and the speedo cog and all that kind of stuff. So I've got new O-rings everywhere, so I don't think I'll have any problem with leakage. So the only thing I'm going to probably be using out of the kit is the ball bearings. I'm probably not going to use the synchro rings because I think these look fine. They don't. In fact, even when I put them in here, I measured the gap. You know, that's way how much wear is. And if you put the new ones and the old ones, I can't tell any noticeable difference. It's as if these have no wear compared to the aftermarket accessories. I might take a better, closer look at that later and see, but at least that was my first impression. I considered buying new needles, but they all look perfect shape. I don't see any bluing, nothing, and there's nothing on the bushings that would indicate there's a problem there. So again, 30 bucks a pop. Yeah, it's not a lot of money when the transmission's apart, but you know what? My time is 0 money. So if this all goes to heck in a handbasket, I'd take it apart and do it again. Fine, yeah, that's fun. You know, I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this because I like to do it. So I really don't care. So if I save 90 bucks not buying new needle bearings, so be it. I'll save 90 bucks. If I'm wrong, so be it. I screwed up again, you know. I'll be able to do it twice as fast next time. Here's another synchro. This will be an easy one to measure, so I'll measure that one too. But yeah, everything's looking pretty good. So now it's just a matter of waiting for the weekend to show up, and I'm trying to figure out how the best way to wash the parts. I'm thinking, I think I might have already said this, but acetone. I've got a bigger tub that I can dunk this stuff in, put it in the tub and swish it around and take it out and air dry it. I don't know if you have to air dry it, probably just evaporate. Take it, just kind of shake off the excess acetone, assemble it with, flood it with MT90 gear oil. Okay, that's G4, GL4, so it's a yellow metal safe, and put it all back together. I'm pretty stoked. I think it's, you know, I sure hope it works, because if it doesn't work, I've spent a lot of time and energy. I don't know, like I said, you know, and a little bit of money, but I don't care too much about that. The other way around, actually, I care about the money, not the time and energy. But I spent a lot of effort to get something that doesn't work. If this doesn't work out, I'll probably just go with a T5 and forget it, because at least a T5 is easily supported. Anyway, more later. Thanks for watching.